Okay, I can get us
what's a cult?
A definition on the dictionary.
Yes.
And a cult is a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object. There's another explanation. It says that a cult is a person or thing that is popular or fashionable among a particular group or section of society.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It has just told you what it is. Who is a cult or what is a cult? We start from there. A cult is not basically a church or is not basically a particular group of religion. A cult it can be a section of the society. You yourself, you can be a cult. An organization like KBC can be a cult. A government is a cult. Nobody is not a cult. Let's start from there.
What do you mean nobody
is not a cult.
Everybody is
According
a cult?
to the explanation there, it says it is a kind of a thinking towards a society or an individual. That specific directed thinking that we believe that this is my belief. Right now, you've got to believe yourself.
Yeah.
That is why you have the hairstyle the way it is, because it is in you, it's new. You got a family, and there is a way you control your family. You come to work, like now in KBC, there is a manner that you have to report at 8, you have to do this, you have to report, you go to the desk, and that is what we call a cult, a following, a strict following of a particular thinking.
Those are just rules for organizations put in place.
The rules are particularly created to make a person or an individual or an organization have a clear vision of a thinking. That clear vision of a thinking, that is what we call a cult, because it is followed religiously. Whenever anything that is followed religiously, it is what now we call a cult. Like now we have the Constitution of Kenya, which we follow strictly, and the states that the citizenry of Kenya are the supreme to anything. That we as the citizens of Kenya, we are the supreme, then others follows. So then we follow our constitution, and they will say it is letter and the spirit of the constitution. So it is followed strictly. That is what we call a cult. So our Constitution of Kenya is a cult. Just like Christianity is a cult. Just like Muslim is a cult. Just like a government is a cult. Just like you.
Cults generally with what you're claiming it to be is just any kind of rules that have been, or doctrines that
is a
follow.
doctrine,
it's all the doctrines
strictly followed by
so
anything.
If you follow any doctrine,
that's
you're
a
in
cult.
Cultism.
That's cultism. So everybody is a cult, including God himself. Because we follow him. We strictly do what he does. He tells us. And those worshipping the devil, they have their own. Those of us worshiping under Jesus Christ, we have those are the Muslim, the Hindus, all of them. We are all cults.
Before we get back into that conversation, because it is getting interesting, and I feel like I've also been called a cult.
Yes,
I am a cult myself. So before we get back into that conversation and get to, get deeper into it, there is the Kenya National Music Festival State Concert that is happening in Nakuru right now as we speak, as you can see on your screens right there. This is after the National Music Festivals that were held in Nyeri at the Dedan Kimathi University. The winners, the best of the best from this particular music festival are at in Nakuru for the state concert. Let's look at that. Okay, that is just a snippet of what we should be expecting in the course of the day. That right there, the winners from the National Music Festival expected to present their songs and whatever that they won, whatever art they won in that particular competition, they will be presenting it to the President of the Republic of Kenya. Now let's get back to our conversation. We were talking about cults,
yes,
and what exactly a cult is. And we defined that, and then we also got new definitions where, you know, it seems like everyone, as long as you are following a certain doctrine, you are part, yes, of a cult. But Apostle, I want us to get into the bad cultism, because there's the good ones, you know. There's cults that are not really affecting anyone, you know, but there are these bad ones. I mean, we have seen, and I know you told me cultism is not just about the church, but we've seen cultism in churches. For example, the Shakahola massacre that just happened. I mean, more than 400 people died, over 600 are still lost. They're not known where they are. How do we explain that? I mean, that is cultism, and let's look at the bad side of it now.
Yeah, no, there's no bad cultism, no good cultism. It all depends with you, because myself, I'm a Christian. And if you told me to go and do the Muslim things, I would just tell you that's bad. And I would not want to be associated with it. But if you go to the other side of the Muslim, they don't want to see Christians. So where the line is? How do you, what will you say that this is a line between the thin line? Because what you believe is not my belief. The thing that you don't believe is bad, and the thing that I believe is good. And the thing that you believe that I don't believe is always bad to me. I don't like it, and period. So your belief is a cult. If it doesn't go in line with my belief, then that is wrong, and that is a boundary. Therefore, like now we take an example of Shakahola. I keep wondering, I don't want to get deep into it because this matter, I think it's in court, but I keep wondering, about 900 people, close to 1,000 who have been removed from the graves. And I keep asking myself, according to some reports I saw from the media, which I have authoritatively have no clarification about, that some of the bodies had gone through a morgue process. There have been, what do you call this, medicine they put in the body.
Postmortem?
No. That's the...
Oh, when you're taken to the morgue, the thing that you injected with.
There's a process. There's a name of the process. It's just gone. And some of the bodies, according to the people, I saw it on TV, they say that these bodies had gone through the process of the morgue. So my question was, yes, Mackenzie told these people to go and fast, and these people fasted. But did they die, took themselves to morgue, then come back and fast again while they are dead, and then they buried themselves? That's a question you need to ask yourself. It's a matter that is in court. We don't dwell on it. Let the court tell us. But the Shakahola thing, it is not what people think. One day I'll come and explain to you, or one day the world will come and know. Really? That was an altar. And if you listen to Mackenzie say, hamujui munacho kitawaramba, because he is pretty sure that the owners of the Shakahola are bigger than the system itself.
But what do you mean, Apostle? It seems right now with what you are saying, it seems like you are, you are not shunning whatever happened. It's like you are in support.
Not in support.
It's like,
the hypocrisy behind it is what I'm calling, because I don't see how the entire system of Kenya, with the best intelligence we have, that 400 to 500 people can be buried in a grave and nobody was able to detect it. Is that not hypocrisy? That when you have, like now, we have had murders, and you have had murders, somebody was killed and he was buried. And detectives are able to go and unearth, and they are not able to even to go to see, to find where the body is. 400 people in a nation like Kenya, that nobody was able to detect for a span of time. People were dying, and the government was unable to detect. You tell me.
But we've had people, witnesses. I'm not talking about
I'm
the
not saying
dead
they're
ones.
witnesses, but why in the first 3 people who died, or 1 person who died because of this, where was the government?
Okay.
What's the purpose of the intelligence in the country? Where was the
that's
government?
A question that
the
we should ask
500,
ourselves
the
then.
200, the 100, where was the government? Where was the intelligence system? That's a hypocrisy of the highest order.
Okay.
Yes.
I agree with that those were too many people to not be detected, you know, and it was happening on, I think it's public land, I guess. But let's not get into that as it's a matter that is happening in court.
Let me give you a good example of how good the government of Kenya is in terms of intelligence. When I was in Mungiki, there is a time, I didn't know how they knew I'm looking for a house girl. And of course I was looking for a house girl. And how they knew I'm looking for one, I don't know. They fronted one of them and became a house girl in my house. And the entire agenda of them was to come and mount the cameras, the mics and everything to mount the system of knowing what I'm doing in the house. And she was a technician from the university, but she came like a village girl, a pretty poor village girl. And me and my wife, we sympathized with her. We gave her a job. We went to the shop. We bought some clothes for her. And she was being paid nice salaries. But how she came, you will sympathize. And she came and she mounted anything, all the things that they wanted to keep in. And after she did the job and they knew the job had been perfectly done, she told us she doesn't want to work with us anymore. We are bosses without manners. She abused us. She created a commotion that we are able to send her away. After 2 weeks, the cops came and I was arrested. Okay,
so our intelligence is A1.
I was taken to Nyati House. Then they asked me questions, real-time questions. I was like, how do they know? But I said no, not me. But the question inside you know this is correct, whatever it is. The time I came to know this is the girl I was called stupid, the girl was called dirty, is an intelligent girl who did all this job. So, hiyo mambo kutuambia ati hiyo kitu ilikuwa haikuwa. So, let's go back to the topic. Yeah. About cultism. Cultism is, a cult is a belief that all of us has. So, it's how you look at it, how you control it. Because now, for example, there's this man called Joshua in the Bible, Joshua, the chapter of Joshua. This man was told by God, now that my servant Moses has died, to whom you are a servant, now rise and lead my people to where I promised their fathers. And religiously this man followed and he killed people. He destroyed nations. He destroyed Ai, Gibeon, and Jericho, about seven territories. He was told to kill, to destroy by God himself. The same Bible in the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel chapter number 3, David, not chapter number 3, I'll confirm again. David wanted to marry daughter of Saul. And when she wanted to marry, because they didn't want him to marry the daughter, they told him to go and get private parts of 100 people. And David went and brought 200, not 100, brought 200. And still this man, God called him man after my heart. I just want to take you up to speed of understanding that the things you think to you are wrong, to some people are right. Like now, I was a Muslim at some point. Yeah. And the Al-Shabaab wanted to recruit me to become one of them. Wanted to recruit me to become one of them. They wanted me to go and die because of God, to tie around myself a bomb, so that I come to building like this one, it will book us, and I kill you, I destroy the entire KBC, in the name of God, in the name of going to have 72 virgins, living in a golden house, and living with God every day. For them, it's a belief, and it's perfect belief, and it's true. That is what they believe in, and that is supposed to be. But to me, I found this is not working, because the teacher that was teaching me to go and do the same, he wants me to go and leave him here. He doesn't want to go and have that life. He wants me to go and leave him here. So I asked him a question. Yeah. Because this good life you're telling about me, why don't you want us to go together? Or why don't you want to go? Then I was told to be that when kafiri, whatever they said about me, I was chased. And that one, it is not entirely in the Muslim fraternity. There are Muslims who are very good, peace-loving people.
Yes, they are.
But you have the extremes, the extremists. And the extremism is found in Quran. And the other soft Muslims, they are also found in Quran. Just like we have Catholic, PCA, and any other church. All these churches are founded from the Bible. The Catholic, they read it from the Bible. The Akorinos, the turban they have in the head is founded in the Bible. The Israeli, the Luyas with the big drums around the roads, they also found it from the Bible. So it's all about how do you look at it?
Yeah, and speaking about that, as you mentioned, you questioned, and that's and you were chased away. Why is it that most people do not question religious leaders? You know, because even if we go back to the Shakahola thing again, you know, they were told to fast for them to go and meet Jesus, but the person who's telling them to fast to go meet Jesus seems not to want to go meet Jesus because they're still eating and they're not fasting. So why are we, or how does it come about that we are so gullible?
It's not that we are gullible, it's we who are greedy. Not the religious leaders, not the pastors, not the bishops.
How is that so?
They're not greedy. Yes, they are not greedy.
How?
Like now I have a church at Coffee Plaza, mezzanine floor. I don't advertise. I have not advertised my church. But I have people in my church who follow me, who will come to listen to me. The people who went to Shakahora, maybe, in quotes, or people who go to Ezekiel, or people who go to TB Joshua or Kakande, I've never heard somebody saying that Kakande called me. It is me, went to the bank, borrowed money, all my salaries, all my savings, then I decide to make a journey to Uganda to see Kakande. Then I will sit down without being coerced or forced, then listen to him. Then after listening to him, I'll go part my money and give it to him. He has not coerced me. He has not forced me. He has not told me what to do. He has just preached his doctrine. And I felt, because I'm lazy to wanting to know, to understand what is this doctrine. Is it biblically based or is it individually based? My lazy nature caused me to go to Kakande, part money, or to even go and fast. Because fasting is personal. But because we don't want to sit down to be taught the word of God, we want you to think for me, you to read for me. Just like we saw when we were told to read about the Constitution of Kenya, we said, some of us, we said, then I was a follower of Raila, and some of us, we said, Raila shasoma, Baba mesoma. So
on that note, I want us to take a short break. We have a commercial break, but when we come back, we'll go on with this discussion. As we also talk about the government of Kenya has banned and deregistered 5 churches under several grounds. We'll come back to talk about that, and I would love to get your thoughts on that. We take a break. We'll be back.
Occupy 4 counties: Kajiado, Narok, Samburu, and Laikipia. The Ma Cultural Week 21st to 24th August at Masai Mara National Reserve in Narok. This event will be presided over by His Excellency President William Ruto. The event will be live on KBC Channel 1. Ingo FM fans in Kakamega, are you ready? Ingo FM and Y254 have organized a Meet the Fans tour on 25th and 26th August 2023. On Friday, 25th August, join us at Butere Boys High School, where the Baraza Foundation has organized sports activities including a football match pitting Kakamega Homeboys versus Butere combined. In the evening, join us as we witness the crowning of Mr. and Miss Butere live from Charlie 037 Resort. These events will be covered by Y254 and Ingo FM. On Saturday, 26th August, our team shall visit Noah Yale Children's Home, where we shall donate dignity packs. And the climax of our Kakamega tour will be the launch of Ingo FM Mashabi Club at Bondeni Primary School. Don't miss out. All are welcome.
Okay, and we are back. Welcome back. I can see my colleague Victor Olo still trying to grapple the fact that he is also a cult. Anauliza mimi pia ni cult. Apostle, you've turned all of us into a cult.
Yes.
You have really
Let me ask you a question, a simple question, and maybe for the benefit of whoever is watching us. You have a Facebook page.
Yes, I do.
And the people who are following you in the Facebook page, religiously they support what you say. If you comment something, they will say, they just comment, they give a lot of comments about it.
Well, not every one of them, but yes.
They will comment. Why will they comment on you? On your views?
Because they're following me.
Because you are what? You're a cult leader. Yes.
But how do we distinguish between, following the right?
It's all personal.
Channel,
it is all personal, and that is why we have laws and regulations in a country system. It is all, because whatever you see about Mackenzie, he violated the laws and the systems of the country. Whatever you see about me, when I was Mungiki, whatever we did, myself, I was the greatest cult leader in this country to have existed, who commanded what we call that, a very religious, powerful thing, that when I will tell Mungikis now, this is the direction, we go demolish a police station, we will do it. And they will do it unquestionably. The same as my friend Baba. Baba even says that leo hakuna magari kwenda kwa barabara. There is no car will go. No, people will not come out. His followers will not come out, but you will not go. Last time, he said, kila Wednesday, hakuna kazi, and there was no job. Nobody was stopping people from coming. Walikaa nyumbani kwa sababu Baba amesema, because he's our cult leader. Our president goes and stops a car in the middle of the road, and he starts speaking to people, and the orders are followed. No car will move, nothing will move. That is the power of a cult leader. When you stop everything, when you make everything work according to your plan, not to other plans. And when people do it, because we have police, you have the CID, we have everybody, they block everybody from coming there because you are a cult leader protected by a system. You see, that's a society. Therefore, the good one is that which fits you. The good cult is that which fits you, because to me, I may eat ugali, for you don't eat ugali. The ugali, if you eat it, you feel bad. For me, the ugali, I eat it becomes good. So the thinking of what you are doing is what we call a good or bad. Because if you go to the Bible, and or the Quran, and they pick the stories in the Quran. Like now, Moses is a leader, a liberation leader. But before he started his job, what did he do? He killed a person. But again, God picks him. Joshua is told, go to Ai, kill everybody, by God himself. David goes to battle and kills the Philistines. And still God calls him man after my heart. Now, what do we call that? What do you say that if we were to say that whatever that is happening now is demonic, is devil worshipping, why then do we follow Moses? Why then do we follow Joshua? Why then do we have the book of Joshua in the Bible? And the book of Joshua in the Bible is about warfare. It's about killing. Moses is a murderer himself. Eh?
Apostle, you know you're confusing me in this
I'm not confusing you, I'm just asking you questions.
Yeah.
I want us to think widely.
I get it.
Not to be narrowed towards what I want you to think.
Yeah.
Because I want to victimize you by telling these people that this man is a cult leader because he has done this and this. Yet, the same person is reading from the book of Joshua, and he is saying that Joshua was told to get into Jericho, destroy everybody in Jericho, kill everybody in Jericho, and then we raise our hands and say that is victory according to God.
But that's the Old Testament.
That's the Old
New
Testament.
Testament that came
But
in
isn't
that has
part,
different...
But is it not the part of the Bible?
It is part of the Bible.
Where does it stop? Are we told that you should not read the Old Testament, be reading the New Testament? We read it as a Bible. There are 37 books. We read them as a Bible. And we take them as examples of God, victory in our lives. So whatever you decide and how you decide to look at it, it is how it becomes bad or good.
Okay.
Like now, I will not advocate anybody to go at the fast, because it is a personal, fasting is a personal thing that you decide personally. You are pastor or myself as a pastor or an apostle, I can't tell my people to go and fast. I tell them this is a season of fasting. Choose what you want to do. Fasting is a personal relationship with God, or whatever kind of a God you are worshiping. It's a personal relationship. Because the Muslims, they fast. The Hindus, they fast. Even the people in the Freemasons. I remember one day I raided the Freemasons hall that is at Nyerere Road. And I found, when I went there, we found people were fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. Yeah. And those people we say they are devil worshippers. So how will they be fasting? Yet they are not from God. So every decision that you take is a personal decision. Salvation is a personal decision. Sure. Wanting to get married is a personal decision. Killing people is a personal decision. People going to kill themselves is a personal decision. So you cannot take it as though it is a communal thing that was initiated by somebody. If I come and I preach to you today, like I want to preach to you today, and I want you to become my member of the church, and I know you will become, you make a personal decision out of it. Yeah. You will not say, this man brainwashed me. You will not say, this man had a different Bible from the Bible that you are reading. I will quote from the Bible, but I will divert you towards my own, because you will make a decision according to the teachings I'm going to give you. So it is very important for the society not to follow anybody blindly. Follow me as I follow Christ. That's what the Bible says. Follow my teachings and test every spirit. If I come and prophesy to you, verify my prophetic word, whether they are grounded on the book or the Bible. If it's the Bible that you follow or the book that you follow, if it's Quran, verify from the Quran. If it's the Bible, verify from the Bible. But one thing I know is that every person in this world is a follower of a particular cult of an individual. We are followers of Jesus Christ, and that is a cult. The Hindus, they are followers of Kapila Vastu, who is a cult. The Muslims are the followers of Muhammad, who is a cult. The government of Kenya, we are followers of Ruto for now, because that is what it is, because Ruto himself and the system of the government is a cult. Okay.
The matter on brainwashing, you know, we've seen so many people being brainwashed. It's happening, you know, mainly by religion, yes? And not just religion, even different, different groups, you know, from the Al-Shabaab, for someone to join it, you've been brainwashed for you to join it.
Don't look at the negative sides, Al-Shabaab, and they look from the government perspective. We go, we pick licenses. And you are told if you don't take this paper, this paper, we are going to take you to prison.
Yeah.
A paper, you have to hang it on your wall in the shop to operate. If you don't have it, you are taken to prison. What do you call that?
But those are the rules of the land.
Those
are the rules of the land.
Those are the rules of the land.
I want to talk about the things that go against the values, the human values of people, where you are forced to go kill people, where you kill yourself and all that. And for someone maybe who is, you see, like for most family members, they don't realize when a member of the family maybe has joined a certain cult that goes against human values. So how does one know? Maybe for someone who's just watching us and probably wanaona ni kama kijana wao kuna venye
so,
so how does one know that this person may be in a particular cult that is not good?
What you must look at is behavioral change. How do your child behave? If the child is smoking marijuana, is on drugs, or is on Illuminati, or devil worshipping, or gayism, or lesbianism, you will look at the behavior change. The behavioral change will tell you what is happening with your child. And this only can happen if we become the old age parental system where we had time with our children. Right now, you woke up in the morning, you will go back maybe towards 9. Your child is monitored by your house girl, nobody cares, you don't care. When the child is not in school, the child is under the care of the house girl. Then all these causes all of us not to have a culture that is built around you, the mother, or you, the father. So anything that is not built around you, the father, or you, the mother, it becomes somehow dangerous for the society because there is no teachings that you imparted on them. There's no doctrine you imparted on your children. They don't know values because values comes from the parents to the children. And if there's no parent to guide, like now maybe I'm here, I'm busy, my child, the time I was supposed to meet my child in the morning, the vehicle from the school came and picked him. And then in the evening he's dropped. I'm not at home. I'll go home about midnight. Then early in the morning I'll wake up and walk out. That child becomes baseless in terms of moral values. Therefore, whatever he will decide to become, it is not because he wanted to become, because there was a role model somewhere. There's somebody who was smoking marijuana, and that becomes a role model. There's somebody who was drinking changa, or somebody in the video or in TV where they are watching the cartoons, they become their role models. That is how we become cultism. We become we have a behavioral that bends towards a particular thing, and it becomes a cult. Like now cartoons, now they have taken over our children, and maybe movies have taken over the middle-aged people, and also we, the older generation now, if we may call ourselves older generation, we are busy in bars, we are busy having chat somewhere, and when you go to the house, you find a father instead of having a discussion with the children, a child is the one corner with the phone, another child with another corner and the phone. The father is also on the phone. The father is chatting and they're doing many things. The mother is also in the kitchen while one hand holding a mwiko, the other hand is on the phone chatting. So you find the culture that we have right now is a culture that is baseless, a culture that has no direction, is a chatting culture where everybody is chatting, and maybe you want to communicate to the children, you write a text to them, they're in the sitting room, in the kitchen, you write, bring me that moiko, the child picks that moiko, brings, and they, where is it, mom, through a chat. You see, it's a culture that is a mute culture. Therefore, the only thing that we can be able to salvage this is we going back again to the drawing board and pick where our parents left us. Then we come, because the way you are behaving is not how your father or your mother behaved. I'm pretty sure at some point your father used to beat you, your mother used to beat you because of small mistakes. Now if anybody touches, not even late now your husband touches the baby, you rush to the police and say, the father of my kid is behaving like an animal, is beating our children. And that is the most dangerous thing that has contributed greatly to the devaluation of our morals and our standards of living. And that's why we can't have a society that is ready to be guided. It's a society that has self-guidelines and self-disciplines, principles that they follow, which does not adhere to what we call the directives and the laws of the country. Like now, this weekend, I'll be in Molo Stadium. And in Molo Stadium, we will be having a huge meeting where we have brought together all the old people and the young people to try and bring them together, because the issue of drugs, the issue of alcoholism, the issue of gayism and all that, many things are happening, is because we don't have morals. That a man will come and tell me to want to give me 30,000 to have sex with me, a fellow man like me. And because I want money to go and drink, and having sex is about 3 minutes or 4 minutes, I just pick 30,000 and go, without understanding the consequences of what has happened to my life. So that is why we're having this meeting, and it's a meeting that we are going to move around the country and sensitizing people and telling people this is what we should do. This is how we need to do our things. Because there's that person that used to tell people is no longer there. The government is not. The government is fighting itself. The people, the church people, the pastors, the bishops, the apostles like us, we are busy chasing for money. We are just busy doing miracles. We are busy doing many things, and the people want miracles because they want instant to become rich instantly.
Yeah, instant gratification.
And we don't want to go through the process, because like now, if you come to my church and I start prophesying to you, telling you that receive the car. Who dropped his car by the roadside that you're going to receive? The car comes from Japan or German or UK. And whoever brings the car is a Muhindi or somebody went to Japan and bought it to come and sell to you. If I tell you to go and pick a car, shika car, inua mkono yako juu hapo juu, shika waya, kuna gari imeteremuka, from where? You see, that's madness. So you will not call this pastor mad person. The person who is holding his hand ati ashike mujisa ya gari, that's a mad person. Anafaa kushikwa pelekwe ndani kwa kutotumia akili.
Speaking about that, you know, most churches nowadays, or most ministries that we are seeing nowadays, even from they have television stations, it's all about miracles, you know, it's all about miracles. And from just witnessing from the people that I hang around and from the people that I know of, most young people now are not going to church, simply because they feel like churches nowadays are just a money-minting business.
It's only nobody is there to explain to them that in whatever they are glued to the televisions, many televisions, the KBC, the whatever televisions around, is just like a cult, just like a church. Because all the televisions, all the radios, you are busy doing rotos, you are busy doing this and this and this. Money. Just like the church. Every program, you run a program, there's something running there, you're going to win 50,000. Send 100 bob, send 200 bob, and you're going to win this. Just whatever the society is in, all over, we are doing miracle money. Because send 55,000, 50 bob, you get 1,000, you get 3,000. Is that not like what we are doing in church?
It's more or less the same thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah. So let us look at the society as the larger thinking of the society, not the church alone. The church is full of crooks. The pastors are crooks. The people going there are even bigger crooks.
But what should be done to curb that? You know, we've just
whatever the government is doing, deregistering, it's not going to help, because you have deregistered the organization called now Kamu Church. It has been deregistered. Have you deregistered me? Will I not go on speaking? I have the right to speak. I have the right to hold a meeting. I have the right to do anything. Take your name, because that is your name. That's a name you registered in the government. Take it. I'll go to do a crusade. You not stop me, because
people will still come. And my question is, why do people still go even after, you know, someone has been exposed?
Because the one that is trying to deregister has failed in his work, because these people are going for miracle money because there is no job, because there is no opportunities. So if the government created people to have money, in Europe you can't go just do a crusade. Nobody will come. If you go beyond 30 minutes or 1 minute or 1 hour, nobody will be there listening to you, because they are busy doing something else. But here, because we are all jobless, we have not been taught how to become independent, we have not been given incentives that makes us work, then everybody, and they hear that Waringe is doing miracles, everybody will come. If they hear Waringe is, if you follow Waringe is driving a big car, because most churches, we follow them because the pastor is driving a big car, he has a huge security, he has a convoy of cars. That is, huyo ni mtu amebarikiwa. You see, now, na mimi nataka nibarikiwe kama yeye. Because he is driving, he has several cars, he has security personnel, and you don't ask yourself, if I'm a religious person, if I'm God-fearing person, why will I have a security entourage to follow me if I'm for God? Because God is protection, God is everything. So if I'm telling you to believe in God, then why do I have security? If I'm telling you to believe God, why do I ask the church to raise money to buy for my car? Why can't I also raise my hand and pick the miracle the way you are picking the miracle? So that is the kind of a thing. The government has failed, and they must stop pretending that wanadirejesta makanisa tu inadanganya watu. Watachukua jina yao. Kama ni jina Mungiki chukua, kama ni jina Nairobi chukua, because it is in the paper of the government. But nitaenda crusade, watu watakuja. People will call me. I have YouTube channel. I have followers in my YouTube channel. They will still send money to me because I will just be talking to them. I will just be prophesying to them through my YouTube channel. I will still get money. I will still go on cheating, like stealing from the people and suspecting people. Yeah, so the solution is not deregistering. The solution is sitting down with all religious stakeholders, the people, the media people, everybody. Then we develop a culture of this nation and see to it. If we can run through this vision, Kenya will be a better nation. By 10 years, nobody will be lied to. Yes.
All right. Unfortunately, because of time, we need to finish up with this conversation. And as you have said, what needs to be done is to bring the stakeholders together and find a solution. And
build a culture. Okay. A culture that's going to be meeting
when is it happening?
On Sunday, this Sunday.
So.
And it will be big in Moro Stadium. You are invited.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming to the show. This is where we call it a wrap right here on Good Morning Kenya. Thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of everyone who has made this show a success, we wish you a lovely day and enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Vijana chapakazi wenye nguvu za ziada.
My youth, uko na talent ya kusing, spoken word, kucompose jingles ama any other unexploited artistic talent. Gava through Ministry of Information, Communication and the Digital Economy na KBC sasa wamekama up na project ya kupromote usanii called Studio Mashinani. Hizi ni studios ziko grassroots and they are fitted with high quality state-of-the-art equipment where you can produce quality audio and video music content for free. What's more, wanaoffer mentorship na talanta yako itakuwa promoted on KBC Channel 1 TV, Y254 na radio stations za KBC. Tembelea Studio Mashinani huko Comarox, Langata, Sauti House Mombasa, Kirwara huko Gatanga, Kitui next to Manyanyoni Chiefs Camp na Kisumu City wako hapo KBC Station. Usilalie talent. This is your chance to commercialize and popularize your talent through Studio Mashinani.